coaches are absolutely blown away by a Chicago Bears rising star. Most notably, I'm talking about head coach Ben Johnson and Rome Odunze. And OTAs are underway, but players have been in the building working with the new staff for weeks and reporting back to the facilities for the offseason program. Some actually started earlier than April 7th. And Ben Johnson was hired back in January. He kind of had a lay of the land. Caleb Williams, right? DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, Rome Odunze, of course, all at Hallis Hall for his first press conference to meet their new coach. And then following that, Odunze, he's just been turning Johnson's head based on the work that he's putting in this offseason. And in this video, I'm also going to go back to who Rome Odunze was in college to kind of further illustrate exactly the type of player that we're getting, exactly the type of pro that we have, and what that's going to look like moving forward. So let's talk specifically about what Ben Johnson had to say. Extremely impressed, and I'll just go to this. To be a second-year guy, you expect a little more inconsistency, but the way that he approaches the meeting room, the walkthroughs, the on-field drill work, it's very much like a seasoned pro. Yes, a coach like Ben Johnson, super critical eye, demands excellence. He's saying already that our second-year receiver out of Washington, he's already looking like a seasoned pro. Like, how nice is this to see? And getting in the extra work, going above and beyond to learn this new scheme, it's going to be absolutely critical for not only this whole offense, but for Rome Odunze himself. And seeing him having this type of mindset early, seeing it acknowledged by his head coach, I don't see how it's not a promising sign for his career to come. And also, we've got some changes on the team, right? Odunze is going to have a much more prominent role in 2025, the unquestioned wide receiver 2 behind DJ Moore. So kind of looking at last year, he finished third on the team in targets, receptions, and receiving yards. Keenan Allen is out. Luther Burden's in. He's not going to threaten to be the number 2 in this offense immediately, but Burden, the guy can absolutely ball. The one thing that I don't like is that he has a soft tissue injury in these last OTA practices, so I think it stems from him falling on the ball weird on a specific play. Hopefully that's not serious, but still, that doesn't make me feel great. So we really need Rome to be ready to go. And talking about last year, there were some hiccups, but a lot of those hiccups stem from 37 overthrown or underthrown targets. That's according to ESPN's Ben Solak. And also, you know what? There were some rookie mistakes. There were some cutoff routes, I remember. And to hear straight from Ben Johnson, the guy's still learning. There is a lot of information that's getting thrown his way. Coach Randall L., Coach Picasso are doing great jobs with him right now. I think we're going to see a lot of growth from him. So now what are we looking at here? We've got a full season of growth, a whole offseason work with this new coaching staff, and also Odunze and Williams, even previously to the draft, they were showing a really close bond. They even were on the same plane on the way to the draft, and getting that connection going on the field as well as off, it's really going to have things take off. So as you guys know, but it's exciting to say Ben Johnson, one of the most innovative play callers in the whole NFL, and he's talking about expanding Odunze's role, expanding his route tree in this upcoming 2025 season, well past what we saw last year. And all these things should measure up to a really productive, a breakout sophomore season. So kind of like what I promised, this book on Rome Odunze, it's not new. This is something that he has been known for even since his time in high school. But let's talk about some of his time at Washington. And let's go back to 2022. In 2022, Rome Odunze, he led the Pac-12 in receiving yards, a first-team All-Pac-12 player. But you know what? Just like last year in Chicago, that was not enough for Rome Odunze. He was ready to work harder. And this is after 75 catches, 1,145 yards, and 8 touchdowns. So his reaction was actually to set out on a mission, Get bigger, stronger, but not sacrificing speed and explosiveness. And this comes from Huskies head strength and conditioning coach Ron McKeefery. He shared at the time back in 2022. With all of those receivers, it was a goal to put on a little mass and fight for those contested catches. Rome Odunze put on 14 pounds total coming into 2023. The big factor, and I'm quoting here, the big factor there was trying to make sure he put on lean body mass. Anyone can put on 14 pounds if they eat the wrong stuff. I can put on 14 pounds. I'm sure you can. But he was very diligent with this nutrition. There was constant check-ins with Director of Football Performance Nutrition, Ali Vandenberge, doing DEXA scans that measures body fat and composition, making sure that mass was being put on a right way. He was really disciplined in this process. A little more here. I was just buying into the program. This is straight from Odunze. I was just buying into the program, getting in there, making it a point that every single weight I touch in the weight room, I'm getting stronger, and I'm believing in the lifts. That really carried over for me with my muscle mass and body composition. So what were the results here? Every single measurable area Odunze improved in. Excuse me. This kid worked hard and did it the right way. So here are the results. We're talking 2022 compared to 2023. His weight moved from 201 pounds to 215 pounds. His bench press got way stronger. He went from 265 to 285 pounds. His squat, 405 to 430, 40. 4.5 seconds to get this. 4.34 seconds. Adding weight, adding strength, but actually improving in quickness. Added a good 4 inches onto his broad jump. In his vert, he added 2 inches onto his vertical in one off season. That's absolutely ridiculous. And then talking to Grubbs, his answer for how he improved. Weight room. He's 215 pounds now. He looks stronger. He looks more physical. Keeping his body healthy throughout the season, that was Rome's limiting factor. Continuing to beat press coverage. That's where people are going to look for answers against a big guy. I think as long as he can do that and be physical through it, he'll be even better. And that's huge. A big physical guy, a guy that high points the ball, is acrobatic, but being able to continue to beat press coverage with this weight program, with this speed program, it's so key for a big-time receiver. Progression was huge. So what were the results on the field? He led college football with over 1,600 yards on 93 catches and 13 touchdowns. And this is coming from a guy that could have been happy. In 2022, the year before, he led the Pac-12 in receiving yards, was a first-team All-Pac-12 player, 75 catches, 1,145 yards, and 8 touchdowns. So he worked hard. That wasn't good enough. And he contributed to his body. He contributed to his team in such a way that he added another 500 receiving yards after this all Pac-12 season. 93 catches, so almost 20 more catches, 13 touchdowns. What is that? Carried 3 of the 5 more touchdowns. And he's just a guy that was not happy with just being good. He wants to be great. You also add that on to his performance in the combine. He was the only top guy to actually go through the combine because he wanted to show teams what he had, and he also wanted to prove to himself what he had. You guys remember that cone drill, actually. He kept hitting the cone. He got to a point that it wasn't even part of his score anymore, but he has such a drive to be great. He wanted to absolutely make sure it was perfect. I don't know if you guys remember, the lights were down at Lucas Oil Field, and he was still doing his 3-cone as people were packing it away. Just an absolute baller, an absolutely great attitude as a guy. And here's the last thing from McKeefery. With Rome, he's a competitor. I don't think last year he felt like he was the best, and he wants to be the best. I think he was a man on a mission last season. He really got in with Grubb and Shep and took his mental game to another level. He got in here. He trained his tail off. He put on size and mass while maintaining his speed and athleticism. He works hard, but what I love about him is that it's going to be infectious. It's going to make others in the locker room better through this influence. And this is so huge, especially how this locker room's been in the past for Chicago. And here's kind of a close from him. The thing that maybe goes more unnoticed, he's a glue guy. He's a guy that unites and makes everybody around him better. We're very fortunate with him and Jalen McMillan, Jalen Polk, Bernard, Denzel Boston. All these guys feed off each other. Rome's a catalyst among that group. And you're also talking about a guy that had 1,600 yards, all these touchdowns on a team with some blue chips here, right? McMillan absolutely took off for Tampa last year. Polk, good things ahead for him with New England. Guys, he is such a blessing. I wouldn't be surprised if he broke out and actually became our number one receiver in the very near future. And our head coach, Ben Johnson, who's notoriously hard on players, he's saying that a sophomore on this team, as he digests the new playbook, is looking like a seasoned pro. And this is something to celebrate. You guys enjoy the holiday today. Enjoy the holiday. Spend time with your family. Bear down. And I will be back tomorrow with Chicago Bears news on the daily. See ya.